Have you ever wondered why some gardens feel almost alive, as if every plant knows exactly where it belongs? That's the quiet power behind Amish gardens. For them, gardening isn't something they try when they have free time. It's survival. It's legacy. It's discipline. Every seed planted carries responsibility because months later, that same seed may be what feeds the family. That mindset changes everything. They don't scatter seeds randomly. They don't guess spacing. They don't see how it goes. They plan with intention. Each row is straight for a reason. Each gap between plants is measured for airflow, sunlight, and growth. Each section of soil is assigned a purpose, before the first seed even touches the ground. And here's what most people miss. Weeds don't dominate careless spaces, they dominate empty ones. Amish gardens leave very little room for chaos. When crops are planted properly and spaced wisely, they naturally compete for light, water, and nutrients. The soil stays covered, the system stays balanced, and weeds, they struggle to find space to grow. It's not magic, it's design. This is generational wisdom at work, knowledge passed quietly from parent to child, season after season. No rush, no shortcuts, just observation, patience, and consistency. And there's a deeper lesson here beyond gardening. Where there is structure, there is less struggle. Where there is intention, there is less waste. Where there is discipline, chaos has no room to thrive. So before you reach for chemicals or complicated tools, ask yourself, is my garden fighting weeds or inviting them? Because sometimes, the biggest transformation doesn't come from adding more. It comes from planting smarter. Now here's where most gardens quietly lose the battle. Not in a single day, but in small moments of delay. It usually starts with something harmless. You walk past your garden and notice a tiny weed. It's small, almost unimportant. You tell yourself, I'll handle it later. But later becomes tomorrow. Tomorrow becomes the weekend. And the garden is watching. Because while you're waiting, the weed is working. Its roots are going deeper. Its leaves are spreading wider. It's quietly competing with your crops for water, nutrients, and sunlight. Then another one shows up. And another. Before you realize it, what once felt like a peaceful garden now feels like a struggle. You're no longer nurturing growth, you're fighting invasion. And here's the truth most people learn too late. Weeds are easiest to remove when they are weakest. Not when they are visible, but when they are vulnerable. A tiny weed takes seconds to pull. A mature weed takes effort, time, and sometimes even tools. And worse, pulling it out can disturb the soil, damage nearby plants, and expose even more hidden weed seeds waiting to rise. So the problem isn't just the weeds you see. It's the ones you allowed to stay long enough to take control. This is where Amish gardening shifts the entire mindset. They don't wait for weeds to become a problem. They act before weeds have the chance to belong. It's not about reacting, it's about timing. Because in their world, delay is expensive. A few missed days can mean less harvest, less food, more work. So they train their eyes to notice the smallest changes. They move quickly, consistently, and quietly. No panic, no overwhelm, just steady attention. And there's a lesson here that goes far beyond the soil. What you ignore doesn't disappear. It develops. What you delay doesn't weaken. It strengthens. Whether it's in your garden, your work, or your life, small problems grow when left unattended. So the question becomes, are you managing your garden daily? Or are you waiting until it becomes a war? Because the difference between an easy harvest and constant struggle is often just a matter of when you act. The hidden trick Amish gardeners use. What if the secret to a clean garden isn't working harder, but acting earlier? This is where Amish gardening quietly reveals its power. Their method is simple, almost easy to overlook. They don't wait for weeds to show themselves. They disturb the soil before weeds ever get comfortable. Walk through an Amish garden, and you'll notice something subtle. The soil between rows isn't hard and untouched. It's lightly worked, soft, managed, alive. Every few days, they pass through their garden with a hoe, a small cultivator, or even just their hands. Not aggressively, not deeply, just enough to break the surface. And that small action changes everything. Because most weeds begin as tiny, invisible sprouts just beneath the soil. They haven't rooted deeply yet. They haven't taken hold. They're fragile. So when the soil is lightly disturbed, they don't stand a chance. They're removed before they ever become visible, before they compete, before they become a problem. But that's only half of the wisdom. by regularly working the soil. Amish gardeners also disrupt the environment weeds need to grow. Seeds that land on the surface struggle to settle. The soil doesn't stay still long enough for them to anchor. In simple terms, weeds can't grow where they can't get comfortable. And suddenly, the entire strategy shifts. Instead of fighting big, stubborn weeds, they prevent weeds from ever existing. No stress, no overwhelming cleanup, just consistent, quiet control. This is not about strength, it's about timing and rhythm. A few minutes of light work today saves hours of hard labor tomorrow. And there's something deeper hidden in this practice. The strongest systems don't wait for problems to appear. They interrupt them early. So imagine your own garden for a moment. What if, instead of reacting to what you see, you started managing what you don't see yet? What if you made small, consistent passes, keeping the soil active, the space controlled, the system balanced? Because the real secret Amish gardeners understand is this: the cleanest gardens aren't the ones that fight weeds best. They're the ones that never give weeds a chance to begin. The power of early attention. There's a quiet discipline behind every clean Amish garden, and it's not intensity, it's consistency. They don't wait for the right day to garden. They don't schedule one big cleanup at the end of the week. Instead, they show up daily, even if it's just for a few minutes, because they understand something most people overlook. Small attention, applied early, prevents big problems later. Picture this. A tiny weed breaks through the soil. It's barely noticeable, weak, shallow. In that moment, it takes just seconds to remove. No stress, no effort, no disruption. Now fast forward a few days. That same weed has grown stronger. Its roots have spread deeper into the soil. It's now holding on, competing with your crops, stealing nutrients, taking space. What once took seconds now takes real effort. And sometimes, pulling it out disturbs everything around it. This is the hidden cost of delay. Amish gardeners refuse to pay that cost. So, they build a habit, simple, steady, almost unremarkable. They walk through their gardens daily. They observe. They act quickly. Not because they have more time, but because they understand timing. They don't allow small issues to graduate into big ones. And over time, this creates something powerful. A garden that stays clean not by force, but by rhythm. No overwhelming workload, no weekend battles, just quiet control, maintained day by day. And there's a deeper truth here that reaches beyond the soil. The difference between stress and peace is often found in daily attention. What you check regularly rarely gets out of control. What you handle early never becomes overwhelming. So the question isn't, do I have time to garden? The real question is, can I afford to ignore it today? Because in the end, a few minutes of care today can save you hours of struggle tomorrow. And that is the true power of early attention. Nature working with the garden. There's a quiet partnership happening in Amish gardens one most people never notice. They're not trying to control nature. They're cooperating with it. And that changes everything. While many modern gardeners rely on quick fixes and chemicals, Amish families focus on something deeper. The health of the soil itself. Because they understand this simple truth. When the soil is strong, everything else becomes easier. Instead of synthetic fertilizers, they return life back to the ground using compost and animal manure. These natural inputs don't just feed plants, they rebuild the soil structure, improve moisture retention, and support beneficial organisms you can't even see. The soil becomes rich, dark, alive. And when soil is alive, plants thrive. But they don't stop there. They practice companion planting, placing crops side by side in ways that support each other. Some plants naturally repel pests. Others provide shade. Some even improve nutrients in the soil for their neighbors. It's not random. It's a system. Each plant has a role. Each row has a purpose. Then comes protection. Instead of leaving soil bare and exposed, they cover it with natural materials like straw, dried leaves, or grass clippings. This simple layer does something powerful. It locks in moisture. It regulates temperature. And most importantly, it blocks weeds from finding light. Suddenly, weeds don't just struggle. They're outmatched. And here's the real secret behind it all. Healthy plants are strong competitors. When crops are well-fed, well-spaced, and supported by healthy soil, they grow fuller and faster. Their leaves spread wide. Their roots go deep. They naturally take up the space weeds are looking for. So, instead of constantly fighting weeds, the garden begins to defend itself. This is the difference between control and alignment. One fights nature, the other works with it. And there's a deeper lesson hidden here. When your foundation is strong, your battles become fewer. Whether it's your garden, your work, or your life, strength at the root level changes the outcome at the surface. So instead of asking, how do I remove weeds? Maybe the better question is, how do I build a system where weeds struggle to exist? Because the most powerful gardens aren't maintained by force. They're sustained by balance. By now, it's clear. This isn't just about gardens. It's about a way of thinking. Amish gardening works because it follows a principle that quietly applies to everything in life. Small things are easier to manage when they're still small. In the garden, a tiny weed is harmless until it isn't. In life, a small habit, a small delay, a small problem follows the same pattern. Ignored, it grows. Delayed, it strengthens. Left alone, it spreads. But handled early, it disappears with little effort. This is the discipline Amish gardeners live by. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't rely on bursts of motivation. They build consistency. A few minutes each day. A quick check. A small action. And over time, those small actions compound into something powerful. A system that stays healthy without chaos. But there's something even deeper in their approach. They focus on the foundation. They don't just remove weeds. They care for the soil. Because they understand that what sustains growth matters more than what threatens it. Healthy soil produces strong plants. Strong plants reduce competition. And a balanced system needs less correction. The same is true beyond the garden. When your foundation is strong, your habits, your discipline, your mindset, you spend less time fixing problems and more time growing. So instead of constantly reacting to what's going wrong, you begin to build something that naturally supports what's right. That's the real lesson. Not urgency, but awareness. Not pressure, but consistency. Not control, but alignment. So the secret behind Amish gardens isn't magic. It's something far more powerful. Simple, patient care practiced over time. A little attention each day. Healthy, living soil. And the wisdom to stop problems before they take root. No shortcuts. No rush. Just rhythm. And in a world that constantly searches for the newest solution, this stands as a quiet reminder. Old wisdom still works. In fact, it often works better. Because sometimes, the answers we're looking for aren't ahead of us. They've been here all along, growing quietly, season after season.